Well, here we go again. Welcome to the Trick Shift Garage. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to finally end that shift to park error message by replacing the whole shifter on our 2018 Chevrolet Traverse here. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is make sure you have the car in park physically, even if it's not telling you wise, and then put your e-brake on. Slide your seat back all the way. Move my floor mat here. All right, so the first step we have to do is we're going to have to remove this whole panel that's on the side of the console, and we have to remove this access panel. So I'm just going to use a little flathead screwdriver, get in there, and pop it out. To remove this bolt, it's a 10 millimeter. Use a plastic trim piece removal tool, and we're going to have to start and try to go in here and pry this piece out. And there's going to be a clip right here on the corner, and there should be another one in here somewhere. Right. And you can see down there there's more clips, so I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver down there on that one clip that I can't reach, and then I'm just going to turn the screwdriver a little bit, like a half a turn, and that's enough to give it the force it needs to come out. It looks like there's another one down there, and just give it a little turn. See that? And that will make it come out. I think I can fit my hand in there now. I can push them out. Keep moving to the front. So there's another one, I think, right there. Oh no, it's just a little plastic piece. Slowly finagle it. That's why you want to make sure you have your seat all the way back. Gives you the best possible chance of getting this thing out. Okay, so all these clips here that you see on this side are the ones that you see that go along here. Back side of the panel doesn't have any clips over here. You just have the 10 millimeter bolt that we took out in the beginning, and then this little plastic piece that sticks kind of like around this area. Before we remove the shift knob, we need to get the leather trim piece that goes around this chrome bit off. And so what I'm going to do is gently put my little screwdriver in here between the chrome piece and the leather. I'm going to stick it in there, and I'm going to just gently pry upwards while kind of pulling on the leather itself. Okay. And just work your way around nice and gently. You don't want to break these little plastic pieces here. You can see like they connect here. There's one here. This just inserts into a part of the console, and there's a couple more little clips that clip on right here, and then same thing on the far side here. But it's basically this little plastic piece, so you got to be gentle when you're working at it, okay, because they can break. Now that we got the leather off, all you gotta do is just grab the shifter with your hand, give it a good firm grip, and we're going to start rocking it back and forth while pulling up at the same time, and then it should come loose like that. All right, so the next step we want to do is remove the cup holder assembly. I like to start right here on the top part, and I'm going to use one of my plastic trim piece tools, kind of get it in there, get it started, get my metal piece, and should release right about here. Oh, it looks like it's already out. So I'm going to get that started here. Pry that up. So we're going to go basically around and just pull up on the tabs. They're all those metal tabs. Okay, that came out. Okay. They're all the same metal tabs that are around that I'll show you once I get the whole thing out. But, okay, now that we got it loose, there's going to be all these electrical connectors. I'll show you how to pull them out. First, we're going to disconnect the e-brake connector. So, like I said before in the beginning, make sure you have your e-brake already on. There's a little tab on the back side. You can't see it from this angle, but I should be able to pull it out and show you. You can see it's just a simple like push tab there. This is the electrical connector for the lights, and there's a little tab right where my thumb is. Just gotta push that in. All right, so one more here, and that's the green connector. And I'm just gonna use my thumb, another push tab, and then push in and pull out. You see right there, just push in and it comes right out. So that's all I have to disconnect for my particular model, but if you have the wireless phone charging that goes in the front, there should be an electrical connector up there that you'll have to disconnect it as well. Yeah, other than that, we can go ahead and we should be able to pull out the cup holder. We should be able to get it past the shift lever here, and then gently coax it out, and there you go, cup holder's out. There, the connectors, there's one actually underneath on the bottom of one of the cup holders. So there's 3 here, and then this is the passenger side. There's 3 clips there, and then I got my 2 clips back here. That was where I started by the cup holder here. That's where those 2 are. So let's go ahead and remove this. All right, so now that we have full access to the shifter, here's the game plan. There's going to be 2 bolts right here and right here in the front, and then there's 2 more right there and right there. You can do this a couple ways. You can disconnect the cable from the actual shifter first. It's a little bit of play on the cable. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of extra cable, so I think what I'm going to do first is go ahead and remove the shifter cable, and then after I get that off, then just the 4 bolts, and this whole assembly should come right out. To disconnect the shifter cable, you could probably use a screwdriver, but I'm using my metal rounded trim piece removal tool. And what you want to do is kind of go behind the shifter cable. All right, and then just kind of give it a little push, and then it comes right out. It's not much effort at all, actually. It's pretty simple. Then you're going to come over here to this part. This just helps hold the cable assembly in place. This little tab here, we're going to push down, okay? And then that should allow this to come out, okay? You can see the action right there. So at this point, we got this off. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 bolts here, and they're going to be 10 millimeters. There's 1. There's 2. So now we're going to get the 2 10 millimeters on the top. Break this one loose. All right, there's number 3. Number 4. The only thing left to do really is to pull out this electrical connector down here. All right, so we'll go ahead and simply lift up. All right, and then here's the electrical connector for the shifter. All you gotta do is simply push in the push tab, and it comes right out. Okay, so at this point, pull the shifter out. Okay, so now that we got the whole shifter assembly out, we have to disconnect the actual shifter from this base here. And the way to do that is to remove this 10 millimeter nut, and then on the other side of that, it's just going to be like a pin. So what I suggest is holding that pin like with your hands or fingers on the back side, and then loosening this 10 millimeter nut. And then once you get it out, there's the nut right there, and then there should be a washer right there. Don't lose that. Okay, and then all we have to do is simply take our hand out of the back side of the pin and push it in. Okay, and then there it is. It'll come out. And this is just a pin with some threads on the other side that just holds the nut. Anyway, that is the one thing you have to remove, and then all you have to do at this point is push it in like this direction from against the base. So hold the base still and then push the shifter forward like that, and then it should come free. This is the new one here on my right hand. This is the old one, clearly. Your part number for your Traverse may be slightly different, but I'll put my part number up as well as the ones for the other years that I found out. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this aside. I'll look at this later, maybe another video or something. Put the new shifter on. And what you wanna do is at the end, you want this hole here to be inside of this, okay? So we're just gonna line things up and finagle it into place. And once you got it inside the mounting side, you'll slide it forward, okay, and then your hole should open up, and then you can put your pin in like so. And then put our washer in, put our nut back in, and make sure you just hold the pin on the other side as you tighten this nut. Hand tight is fine, just when it's snug. So at this point, this shifter can go back in. Okay, so before we go ahead and install the brand new shifter in, we're going to go ahead and plug in the electrical connector. I have the GM approved wiring harness, kind of, it's an inline adapter that goes for it. This was supposed to be the final solution for this shift to park error that I was receiving, but I figured I'll just leave it on there now since it's there anyway. It shouldn't hurt anything. So now that we got the connector in, we'll just go ahead and drop it back in. All you have to do for the shifter itself, you'll see two plastic pins here, and just make sure that you have this opening. This is going to be for the shifter cable, right? So make sure that's pointed towards the front, okay? And just drop it down, and it should fall right into place. And just make sure all your holes are lined up. Put our bolts back in. Got that one down in there. Screw them in by hand to start. These 10mm bolts are going to get tightened down to 80 inch-pounds of torque. All right, let's go to the front. All right, make sure your shift cable is back over here in this general area. Put our bolts in here. Might have to move the shift cable a little bit out of the way. Okay. At this point, we're going to go ahead and install the shifter cable, and all you got to do is pull this little lever thing down and slide it into the channel and then release, okay? Give it a good tug just to make sure that it's not coming out. Okay, that's good. And then all you got to do is line up the pin with the hole, okay? And then just push in, okay? And give it a little quick tug. Yep, that's good to go. And reinstall the cup holder, and you just want to kind of work it in like this, starting from the front, and then you should just get the shifter inside there, okay? And then push it up as far as it goes. We're going to go ahead and reconnect all these electrical connectors, starting with the green one, and just line it up and push in. All right, next one up is the e-brake, and then push that in gently. Give it a little tug, make sure it's good and locked in there. And last but not least, the electrical connector for the shifter light. All right. And if you have the wireless phone charging, make sure you connect that first, okay? I probably should have said that before I did all this. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and push everything down. You push the cup holder all the way into position, and you want to make sure you have it lined up here, and that plastic piece goes inside in the front, okay? Same for the passenger side. Can't really see on this side, but you should find its way in. There's that one on the cup holder. Just push that down, okay? And you should see these, this one here and this one right here. They'll snap down, snap into place. And just push down the other side, make sure that's good. And then lastly, the two up top here we started with, just push them down. All right, so to get the shifter knob back in place, all you gotta basically do is push it over like so. Just make sure it's lined up here and push down, okay? And it'll snap back into place. All right, and then we'll go push the boot down, and all you gotta do for this part is just push back down, like that. All right, so before I actually go ahead and put the last panel on, I'm gonna go ahead and just start it up and make sure that it works. So We'll shift it in reverse. Yeah, I know my doors are open. Just make sure you got your foot down. Neutral. Drive. Low. Make sure our little buttons work here up top so I can shift. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, all my gears are there. Okay, now the final test. Shift it to park and turn it off. Oh, put the e-brake on. All right, no problems. At least not right now. But anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and we'll put the panel back on and call it a day. So it's going to be tight quarters, but it should be manageable. Probably just go in like this. Yeah, slide it in like that. Okay. Gonna be a little bit of finagling past the car seat, the driver's seat, but it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, there you go. And watch the very front. Okay, like so. You kind of get that into position, and then you want to make sure that you got that guy tucked in to where he needs to be, which is way over there. Hold on, might have to go back here. Have to work backwards a little bit. Get it in right here, okay? I had to kind of pull out the bottom to get that lined up correctly. But once you get that piece in, it looks like it's just, the rest of it kind of just goes home. Okay. All right, that's looking right. Yeah, again, so that one plastic piece I showed you, make sure that's in there, tucked in nicely. This will be all flush here. Just want to push that in. And now that you got it lined up pretty well here, you should be able to just follow it and just push in as you go. And all these pins should just fall into place. I think I got them all. Then you want to go down here and you want to make sure this hole is lined up like it needs to be, okay? And we can reinstall our bolt. And we'll just snug it up hand tight. And last but not least, line it up and pushes in, and that's it. All right, that's it for this video. The new shifter's in place of the Chevrolet Traverse. Everything seems to be working normally now. Haven't had any shift to error messages. So far, so good. All right, just to let you guys know out there, if you're watching this till the end, I will be having some new videos on the Traverse going forward. Maintenance type videos. Like, other than that, there's like no other repairs that I have to do on this as of yet, knock on wood. Like oil changes, air filter changes, transmission fluid changes. Like, those are all items that I want to incorporate in with this video. So if you like that kind of videos and say you have a Traverse, like, I'm going to be having these type of videos going forward. All right, so hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.